This goes out to Bellafiga. So it was a sign, a for sale sign, and there were vines growing all over it. It seemed like it had been there for, well, my realtor told me 8 years. The grass was about 6 feet high, orange trees that seemed to be planted by birds were all over with vines, and even the oak trees had vines on them. My son, he was 12 at the time, and he gets out of the car, and about 2 minutes later, I turned to him and I said, what do you think? And he kicks the dirt and he goes, it's okay. 9 months, 3 weeks later, his brother, his mom, the 3 dogs, Hazel, Myrtle, and Dexter, are camping out. And he ends up down by the lake. And he's down there, and there's a spot. In fact, now to this day, I feel him in this spot. It's a spot that he kicks up the dirt, and he looks out, and it's like he's at the most calmest of places in his life. He turns 18, and he goes to his mom and says, I'm moving out. I'm dropping out of high school. He grabs 2 boxes, puts them in my station wagon, hugs his mother, and he says to me, take me to the house. We're driving, and I am biting every orifice in my mouth. My tongue, the side of my mouth, I can't bite the roof of my mouth. I tried that. My lips, I'm just like pushing hard so that I don't say anything, and all of a sudden, I let go. Ugly, filthy words come out of me. I mean, they're ricocheting and flying all over the inside of the car, and he sits there stoic, just sits there. And I just let it go, and I'm gnashing words, and they're throwing out, and my face is all scrunched up, and all of a sudden he can't take it anymore, and he starts throwing them back at me. And we are in the midst of total ugliness. We get to the house, he says, park a block away. He gets out of the car, he takes one of the boxes, goes into the house. I get out of the car, I lean up against the car. He comes back and his head is down and he takes the box and he says, don't follow me. In my mind, I'm thinking to myself, this is not how it ends. This is not how my 18-year-old son leaves me. He goes into the house. I can't see him anymore. I march. I literally march. I do. I'm marching in there. I'm just like, I'm going to do this. 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 I go past a homemade skateboard ramp and beer cans. I go into the door. It's wide open. There's a hallway. It's dark. I see him come out of the hallway. The light hits him. He looks at me and he looks right down, and I go to him and I hug him. And I say, I love you. And he is a dead fish. 3 months later, 4 days later, he gives me a call at 6:12 in the morning from Ormond Beach. Dad, can you come pick me up? I said, I'll be there in an hour and a half. I have to go to the property. I get there. He's had a rough night. I can tell his eyes are bloodshot. I see him at the 7-Eleven. He walks over to the car. He gets in the car. He goes to the back of my station wagon, crawls up and goes to sleep. And I drive to the property. I park the car underneath a tree so it's shaded, so it's cool. I crack the windows a little bit. Now it's October, November, December. It's December, so it's not that bad. It's like now, like what it is now. Occasionally I'd look up and see what he's doing, and maybe he would go outside and use the restroom, but he would go back into the car. The property's changed. There's a white gravel driveway, 100 yards, it winds down. There's a lemongrass lining it, rainbow eucalyptus, and my idea is that rainbow eucalyptus, they have tree bark that's like a rainbow, and my idea is to drive down my driveway and open up my sunroof, if I had a sunroof, I don't have a sunroof, and have Skittles pour down on me. I got a beautiful house. I built the house. I got a deck that just went in. I got an outdoor shower that faces, well, there's no door. to the lake, which is fine because no one can see me unless you have binoculars and you're on the other side of the lake. I know that woman. She's Susie. She might be looking. I don't know. I have my child, when I was a child, the bathtub my mom gave me. I've got a fountain in it, solar powered with koi fish. I have a sculptured fire pit. I find myself sometimes down at his spot, down right at the lake, his calm spot. And I find myself looking up the hill, and I manifest this homecoming. I see up there his mother is holding him. He's an infant, and he is doing this to her. You remember the little kid on Monsters, Inc.? Did it to Sully? I blink my eyes, and he's less than a year old, and he's walking, and he's full of life, and he's just alive. I blink my eyes, he's 7, gray baseball outfit, sweat on the back of his cap, and he's just hit a home run, and he's just so alive. I blink, and he's 10, and he's at the dinner table, and he won't talk anymore. He's not happy anymore. I blink, and we're back in the car going to the house, and we're ugly, and our faces are, I blink, and he's in front of me. He's my height. I look into his eyes and I see me. And he reaches out and he pulls me in. And in my ear he says, I get you, Dad. I get you. Thank you.